everybody. It is me, George, and Happy New Year. Now you might be wondering, why is George saying Happy New Year? Well, it is because today is the last day of Rosh Hashanah, and all of my friends that are Jewish are celebrating the New Year. So I have a story for you today about Sammy Spider's first Rosh Hashanah, and I thought maybe we would learn something about that holiday together, okay? Okay, George is ready now. Sammy Spider dangled from a silky strand of webbing near the big picture window in the Shapiro's living room. "Look, Mother," he said, pointing with one leg. "Here comes the mail carrier with more cards for the Shapiros. Why has she been delivering so many cards this week?" Oh, look, there's the mail person bringing all the cards to the Shapiros. Mrs. Spider looked lovingly at Sammy. "Soon the Shapiros will celebrate Rosh Hashanah," she replied. "Those cards are from family and friends who are wishing them a Shana Tova, a Happy New Year." That's how you say Happy New Year in Hebrew. You say Shana Tova. "Will we get any cards too?" Sammy asked hopefully. "Silly little Sammy," answered Mrs. Spider. "Spiders don't celebrate Rosh Hashanah. Spiders spin webs." Yeah, they have a different job. They don't celebrate Rosh Hashanah. Which reminds me, our web is getting a little crowded. I wonder how you fix that problem. "When you were born, we lived in a small web. Now our web is middle-sized. But you grew so much over the summer that we need to spin a large one." Sammy wasn't paying attention. He was hanging above the shelf, watching Mr. Shapiro display the new cards. They were all different sizes. Some were large, some were middle-sized, and some were small. "Aren't they beautiful, Mother?" Sammy sighed. He really likes those cards. But before Mrs. Spider could answer, Sammy scurried across the ceiling into the Shapiro's kitchen. Mrs. Shapiro and Josh were kneading some dough. That's when you push it with your hands. And shaping it into circles. "What are they doing now?" he called to his mother. "I wonder what they're making. Let's find out." "They're making round challahs for Rosh Hashanah," she answered. "Mrs. Shapiro is making a large challah for the family, a middle-sized challah for the neighbors, and Josh is making a small challah for himself." "Can we make a challah too?" Sammy asked. "Silly little Sammy," laughed his mother. "Spiders don't need dough. Spiders spin webs." She already told him that once before. The next morning, Sammy woke up to a chopping sound in the kitchen. Mr. Shapiro was slicing apples. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see his apples. There they are down at the bottom. Big red ones, middle-sized yellow ones, and small green ones. Nearby, Josh was filling 3 bowls with honey. There was a large bowl for Mr. Shapiro, a middle-sized bowl for Mrs. Shapiro, and a small bowl for himself. That one's for Josh. There, I tried to show you the pictures again. Mrs. Spider came over to Sammy. "Rosh Hashanah begins tonight," she explained. "At dinner, the Shapiros will dip apples into honey for a sweet new year." "Huh, that sounds delicious. I wonder if it's as yummy as a banana." "Can we dip apples too?" asked Sammy. "Silly little Sammy," replied Mrs. Spider. "Spiders don't dip apples." Guess what she's going to say now? You can say it with me. "Spiders spin webs." The next morning, everyone got dressed up to go to synagogue. Mr. Shapiro put on his big gray coat. Mrs. Shapiro wore her middle-sized red coat, and Josh put on his small blue jacket. The synagogue is what you call the church when you are Jewish. And you see the men here? They are wearing a little hat on their head. It is called a kippah or a yarmulke. And when you're a boy, you wear that to the synagogue on your head. Yeah. I can't wait for the rabbi to blow the shofar, Josh exclaimed as they left the house.Josh and his family are going to services, Mrs. Spider whispered to Sammy. The rabbi will blow the shofar to welcome the new year. Can we go too? Asked Sammy. Silly little Sammy, answered Mrs. Spider, shaking her head. Spiders don't go to synagogue. Spiders spin webs. Come help me spin our new larger web. He really wants to do Rosh Hashanah. He doesn't want to spin. Instead, Sammy swung down to the kitchen counter and crawled towards the bowl of apples. Oh, I wonder if he's going to eat the apples. In his excitement, he stepped into a drop of spilled honey. All of a sudden, he couldn't move. His 8 legs were stuck. He struggled to free himself. Oh, this just got really exciting. Oh, my. Help, Mother, he cried. The honey won't let go of me. Oh, my, look, he's all twisted up down there. He looks like he's in a pile of noodles. Mrs. Spider lowered herself on a strand of webbing and tried to pull Sammy free. She pulled and pulled until she had to catch her breath. Sammy began to cry. As he bent his face to wipe away the tears, a drop of honey got in his mouth. It tasted sweet. Oh, Georgie's going to have to try this honey stuff. Sammy took a little swallow, then a middle-sized swallow, and soon he was taking a great big swallow of honey. Before he knew it, he wasn't stuck anymore. Yeah, he ate it all. I noticed that honey is yayo too, and yayo's my favorite. So maybe I like anana, banana, and honey. You never know. Mrs. Spider scooped Sammy up and held him close. He still felt a little sticky. See, Mother, he said, spiders can have a sweet new year. All you have to do is dip me in honey. Mrs. Spider hugged Sammy closer. The Shapiros can celebrate a sweet new year, she laughed. But I'm just happy to have a sweet you near. Ha! That was really tricky. A sweet new year, a sweet you near. Ha! That was like playing with the letters of the words. And that's the end. So we learned a little bit about Rosh Hashanah. We learned that the Jewish people celebrate Rosh Hashanah, that it's the new year. They eat apples and honey. They blow on the rabbi at the synagogue. He blows on the shofar. Yeah, and they make challahs in the kitchen. Yeah, lots of things. So anyway, I'm going to go find a video now to add on to this one to show you blowing the shofar. Okay? Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so I found a little clip of blowing the shofar, which welcomes the new year, and the rabbi plays the shofar. Okay, you ready to hear it? Here it comes.